What's up?
What an epic intro with that video we have.
What video?
The intro I just did.
Oh, yeah. I like that one.
Pretty nice. All right. Welcome to tonight's show.
Green screen back. My guy's getting all pixelated.
Oh, jeez.
Picture's too much.
Gotta go to your settings and change the fade. Now it's off. Wait a minute. That wasn't green.
This one? That looks better.
White. Yeah, it's better. Nice background.
I hate to break it to you, sir, but I am very white. All white. See, cream. Actually, yeah, you were definitely whiter than me. Jesus Christ, sir.
I avoid the sun.
The sun is not your friend, clearly.
No, it's not.
The sun is God, sir.
That is true. All right, so we have one person watching on your channel, but none on mine. I'm offended.
They'll come.
Yeah,
I can't see anybody watching, so it's all news to me. Wouldn't even know. I was actually just, man, I sparked up one of these cigs, and I'm like sitting here smoking, and I'm like, wait, I'm in the house. Oh my goodness.
I finally made the change. I went to this thing right here.
Oh, the vapes. These guys. This.
I never seen those around here before.
CBD smokes. That's because it's not legal there, sir.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. They don't show up on drug tests.
Thankfully not. Well, hopefully people will start chiming in pretty soon. If they don't, they're going to miss out on a great show tonight.
It is a Tuesday night at 7 p.m. or 10 p.m. your time, so it is what it is. I'm sure that they'll trickle in eventually.
Excuses.
I think maybe Wednesday is better because a lot of people are here on Wednesday.
Actually, we have quite a bit of people watching this. Of course, I work Wednesdays. So challenge.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I had freaking no idea going into this how much I was going to be able to find on, like, directed energy weapons. Like, I didn't realize this was going to be a mainstream topic now. Like, we just got facts all over the place. Like, the image I got behind me on my thing was, I was just Googling pictures, and they're like, oh, yeah, these are mounted on satellites. Like, so we have these things mounted on satellites, and this is just Google worthy. You can just tell this on Google. Like, I don't know, man.
It's no secret anymore. People just don't care about anything anymore. Everybody's so numb to everything.
Nah, dude, and it makes me so. Everybody that's watching, or anybody that watches this, she needs to watch that movie with Gerard Butler that talks about the Geostorm, and it talks about essentially. I'm not going to give away the whole movie, but they have technology in which they can manipulate weather events, and a crazy person tries to get a hold of it, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I look at stuff like that as, like, they outright telling you what they can do. And naturally, investigating this brought me back to, like, 9/11 stuff. And, like, I don't necessarily have viewpoints. I do have viewpoints on what happened that day, but like, if you just look at the facts from that day, we're talking about technology that we have no idea about. We can jump right into it. But what is a directed energy weapon? I can probably present this so people can see this. I'm not so nervous. I can do this. I can do it. So I'm going to do the directed energy weapon Wikipedia. Hopefully that's showing. I don't know if it's showing, but it's showing for me.
Let's see. I can add it to the stream. There we go.
You can see that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like straight from Wikipedia. It's a ranged weapon that damages its targets with highly focused energy without a solid projectile, including lasers, microwave, particle beams, and sound beams. Potential applications include weapons that target personnel, missiles, and optical devices. United States, the Pentagon, Air Force, blah, 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 all these different places are researching directed energy weapons to counter ballistic missiles, hypersonic cruise missiles, hypersonic glide vehicles. What the hell was that? I don't know, but hypersonic glide vehicle. What are we talking about there? hypersonic.
I mean, it's faster than sound.
Right.
I mean, vehicles that could travel faster than sound that aren't aircraft.
And you see what this says. These web systems and missile defenses are expected to come online no sooner than the mid to late 2020s.
So already, yeah.
Yes. No, it's
Oh, it was still early, yeah.
to me, it's obvious that this tech has already been used, man. Like, you got all kinds of people, like before our last week we talked about different fires that are being started or whatever. It's still on my screen, but different fires that are being started and people reporting laser beams coming out of the sky and stuff. These fires, up in Canada, we have.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact number, but it was several massive fires started at the exact same time, just sprung up out of nowhere. And a lot of people would write this off, well, it's lightning strikes, so that's what they're going to tell you. Just like the crazy lightning thunder. Look at what? Oh, I was fucking getting a message. Sorry, I got distracted. But
you good?
Crazy freaking lightning strikes, and everybody's like, oh, it's just natural events. And you get it right online, and you see that this kind of stuff actually exists. And what if, that this is not natural stuff? What if they really are using this kind of stuff?
It can't be natural. There's just too much going on everywhere.
Right.
Globally. It can't be natural.
Yeah, it's one of the things I really got into back when I was like going down all these deep rabbit holes is this person called I watched this interview, and it's called Dr. Judy Wood, and she talks about like investigating like 9/11, and no matter what you think, your objective thoughts on this, like if it was an ulterior story, if there is a different story to that day, right? The public deserves to know that.
Oh, yeah.
And to everybody with a thinking mind, like nothing is right about what happened on that day. Like those buildings did not collapse perfectly because of the fire. Like you have to be completely ignorant to believe that. I mean, but
ignorance is bliss.
Right. And it's a scary thought, and that was one of the precursors to like me coming out and being like, yeah, dude, something ain't right in this freaking world. Is like once you have the ability to admit that, hey, something else is going on here with that, it's like, holy crap, what else is going on? And then you start to go down all these conspiracy rabbit holes, and you find out, hey, this is proven to be true. Like they were talking about directed energy weapons 10 years ago in the conspiracy communities. They were talking about MK Ultra, way back when it was first happening back in the late 60s. And people were like, oh, you guys are crazy. They were talking about chemtrails. Now it's, hey, yeah, we do have the ability to modify. What the hell is going on here, man? Like, at what point do people stop calling people crazy conspiracy theorists and start to realize that there is something going on here and the people are being manipulated?
More people are coming around to it than before. It's just too much to hide these days.
Right. Yeah, dude. So this is, I don't know. So anyway, the Dr. Judy Wood. So like, it's a hard thing to talk about again because of where I work, but I don't know if you're able to see this at all, but I don't know. Do I have to present that exact one? I do.
Yeah, it should be a button that says bringing up.
I got it.
Add to stream.
So yeah, this is from like that lady's website. I recommend anybody just go on here, research this stuff. She has a book out, but she talks about how the buildings essentially turned to dust. And the reason why this is pertinent is because she's suggesting, and I honestly believe that they were honestly taken down by the result of directed energy weapons. And that is insane to really think about, but like they do. You watch these buildings, they disintegrate. And like there's all kinds of different news stories that she references where like the news are like, hey, what happened to all this steel? What happened to all the buildings? The buildings were turned to dust. Like, how exactly does that happen? How do they collapse perfectly? How did that other building collapse? You know what I mean? That wasn't on fire at all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't no natural event for sure.
Right. Hypersonic cruise missiles. That's another interesting thing that it's talking about. But that's
Faster than speed.
Almost like what hit the Pentagon that day,
Hint, hint.
Going down, sir. Going down.
Hey, what happened? It just shut down now.
Yeah. My God. Oh yeah, like this is definitely pertinent stuff to know about because like this is the future of warfare, this kind of stuff. I mean, we showed a video last week of them mounting, like it's on the History Channel, they're mounting these freaking direct energy weapons onto like 747s or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And they have the ability to strike a target a mile away with a freaking laser beam, dude. This is like something you would never think of. Imagine if we took all the money that we're funding into this the weapons to kill each other and put that towards use. Hey, maybe we can use this energy and harness it to have power at our house. Maybe.
There'd be no poverty in the world.
Instead, we're perfectly okay with some people having to light their house by candles. Some people don't got food. But here we are worried about killing each other.
Sad to say, that is the truth.
And
that's never changed. That's human nature.
Is it though? So like everybody always says that. Like, is it human nature or is it something? Maybe it is. Maybe it is human nature. But like we had to have learned this from somewhere. Like this comes from way back when. I mean, if you read like the biblical texts, you read any of the old texts, they talk about warfare. They talk about somebody teaching people warfare. It's like, what if since the beginning we've been used as pawns in a global game of chess and all it takes is for us to be like, hey, no, we're not going to do this anymore. We're not going to kill each other over nonsense, over what our leaders say.
Well, it's like Cain and Abel. Cain was the first person, supposedly, to ever commit murder.
Right.
And he was the son of Eve and Adam, or his grandson, something like that. So this is like, the third generation?
I think in the biblical text, he is the son of Cain, or son of Adam and Eve. Sons, yeah.
So we're talking like the second generation of humans to ever exist. And they were already starting to kill each other.
However, I think the story of that is skewed, but
probably.
Like, I mean, the idea of fighting with one another, I suppose, is wired into our primitive genes, if you will, but even if no matter which tales you talk about, you have the Sumerian tales, you have the biblical tales, they're all talking about, hey, I'm going to murder all of you for not listening, or I'm going to kill this whole people, over here for not listening. So, I mean, I guess regardless, it does appear to be wired into our stuff, but
I know it's in mine. There's times with my road rage, especially if I'm driving down the road, I scare myself sometimes how mad I get. Like, yeah, did I just say that?
It's I'll admit, I get a little bit of road rage sometimes, a little bit. I try to avoid it. I try to. I know I'm gonna get probably messages from people, but like, oh yeah, you're a fucking road rages from hell. Not really though, but I think it's because driving is one of those situations where
you're on edge. Yeah.
I mean, you are on edge, but you also
you're in a hurry, and everybody else is not.
For what though?
Gotta get to work.
I don't know. Like, why the hell are we in a hurry to get to work, man?
You gotta get there on time, or you're gonna get punished.
I just gotta leave earlier, sir. But I know, I understand. I don't want to leave earlier either. But
I'm always half an hour early. I just sit in the parking lot.
Me too. I always sit there. I'm usually like an hour early so I can like record stuff. But that's when I do my TikToks. That's when it's always dark. It's always dark. Nobody can see me.
I might be going back to that shift myself pretty soon. Just so I can get weekends off.
Oh my god! I can't believe I talked about that. It's going down, man. I got to go down the weapons or the 9/11 rabbit holes eventually.
Yeah. Now, what's your thoughts on domestic warfare? Not domestic terrorism, but domestic warfare, where they basically attack their own people. Kind of like,
I think that
this Maui stuff, these hurricanes.
I think if you take a long, hard look at our country, a long, hard look at all the countries around the world, you would be absolutely naive to believe that that we are not, the governments are not doing this kind of stuff, doing this kind of false flag events to manipulate the public. Because it's just like the idea of keeping the sides divided, the polarized. So like any political stuff now is so polarized at opposite ends when it doesn't have to be, that like people are at each other's throats, and it's done that way on purpose without a freaking doubt. That's why I say to anybody who's a diehard Republican or a diehard Democrat, you guys are the exact same people, because they're saying the exact same things, just at a different freaking end of the polarization scale. You're being manipulated against each other. The fact is, you got to read between the lines. You have to learn to think, hey, yes, you got some good ideas on this side. You have some good ideas on this side. Let's figure out how we can get along. But no, it's like all or nothing, all or nothing. And if you think that that's not part of the plan, that's ignorant. And I think that is one of the main things that's used, the divide and conquer agenda. These other kind of events that happen, it's probably corporation money. There's money reasons always. It's always money. Control, because if the people start to get wise to what's going on, hey, we're going to stand up against them. Just like now, the idea of another pandemic is coming across, the idea that we're going to go back to masking because the new COVID variant that no one freaking cares about, dude, like,
it's coming.
And that brings you to the biological warfare. So biological warfare, germ warfare, like that, like it's when people are like, oh, they would never do that. It's silly to do that, because there's examples throughout entire recorded history that shows that they have done that over and over and over again to get what they want.
It's a proven fact. They would throw blankets on the Native Americans that were exposed to smallpox or polio, or whatever it is.
It was smallpox was one of them. Yeah. They did that, I think, down in Mesoamerica, South America. They did that. I'm sure they did that in the States to take, to kill a lot of the Native American folks. Just absolute, just horrific stuff, man. That's why do you think that certain groups don't trust the government? Certain groups are never going to trust, because of what has happened. Why would you trust somebody who is literally committed genocide? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
people forget our history. We didn't discover America, we took it.
Yeah, like if anybody's had it pretty bad, I mean, the Native Americans had it rough. Like, we came over here. I'm not part of these people, okay? But yeah, like ancestral, whatever you want to call them, came over here and decided, hey, I'm going to take all this stuff that people are already living in. I'm going to discover it. And ultimately, I think it was all part of the gold game. We're trying to go further and further in search of this shiny rock that our creators wanted us to get, that they deemed important. We need all the shiny rocks, all the money, all the land. And so we can create this gas station and McDonald's down here. You know what I mean? Like, holy crap. You look up at the valleys, you imagine. I seen a meme the other day. It's like, I wonder what our ancestors are going to do with this lawn or this land. And it shows like McDonald's, gas stations, all the people stuck in traffic. Like,
it's sad.
It's absolutely sad. Oh my goodness. I've been trying so hard to do my best to not like argue with people online, because I know it doesn't accomplish anything. But like, the fact is that people don't know or don't believe that biological warfare exists and has been used against the public. Like, I'm going to talk about, the virus that shut down this entire world. Do you think that was not a biological weapon used against the entire world? You're silly. Like, how the investigation into the lab went nowhere? All of a sudden, hey, we're hearing nothing about that. We launch a probe and hear nothing about that. You think nothing's going on there? Dr. Fauci decided he's not in the news anymore. I wonder why. Like, bro,
dead.
We took every single doctor that came out and tried to say anything and silenced that person. And we had to accept only the one viewpoint. And people still don't think that is manipulation. And I don't know how to tell people. I mean, that's willful ignorance at this point. Like they'll throw around this many people died, this many people died. Yes, that's what they're telling you. That's what they're telling you. That many people died.
When it was still going on, every day on the news there was a counter at the bottom of the ticker, little ticker showing the amount of deaths.
I would have so much more respect for our news agencies. I would have much more belief and faith in the system if they were like, hey, this many people died, but this many people have survived. We got this. We're going to get through this together. But instead, it's like, nope, you're going to die if you don't get this. And, come to find out that is not actually the case. But
that's the sad part. They were actually letting people die just to get the statistics to go higher, even if it was something that wasn't related directly to that virus. And sad to say, my mom is a statistic from that.
That's freaking sad, man. That sucks, and I'm really, really sorry to hear that. But like, it's horrific. And for you to not change your viewpoint on the matter, it just shows that like we understand that this is a manipulation on a scale that's unbelievable. Like, like people, they're saying that if you die within 30 days of having COVID, well, I shouldn't even have mentioned it on the channel, but die within 30 days of even having that, like they'll count it as that. Like, there's all kinds of freaking things, man.
And that's what there are all these memes, like somebody gets hit by a car, they were killed by the virus, just to get more statistics and numbers up.
Right, dude. And if even one of those stories are true, that means that there was a lot of illegitimate claims. You know how much money was going into the places for that? For the people claiming that, this happened? Like, how much literal money was just being funded? I mean, I work in an area where I get to see the budgets. And the budget during COVID, how much money was being thrown out, dude, for that crap is insane. Insane amounts of money. Like millions and millions and billions of dollars were getting thrown out for that kind of crap to deal with it. Money that doesn't exist. And now we're all paying for it with a massive inflation, right?
I mean, everything's higher now. Gas, milk, electricity, everything. It's gone up.
Gas, water. As Cat Williams would say, these motherfuckers have done fucked up everything. Gas, water, oil, everything.
So what's your ultimate take on the virus? Man-made in a lab or some sort of natural strain?
It's absolutely 100% made in a lab. There is nothing natural about it, and it's the amount of proof that you can pull up on that is staggering. And the fact is, it was either intentionally released or accidentally released. Whatever way you want to believe it. But the people that have blown the whistle in China about it have died. The people that have tried to inquire about it here have gotten nowhere. Like, imagine the fact is that it's the biggest lie we probably have ever seen in our lifetime and are ever going to see. Like,
for now,
until the next variant comes around, it's already coming up. But
now, how about these variants? Are they upgrades created as well, or are they actual mutations?
It's probably mutating, dude. Just like the thing of the course of any virus, they mutate as they go along, and it's probably, I've heard doctors, full on virologists, get on and talk about how the freaking things are what's creating the variants. Because
so basically they've lost control of this virus.
It's just like the flu, dude. Like, every time you get a shot, you have to get a different shot every single year for that dang thing. Like, and people will still go out and get it. And, you get a 50% chance of it protecting you from the flu. And it's like, oh yes, I'm going to pump all these chemicals into my body because I blindly trust these companies that have paid billions to people for damages. Billions of freaking dollars in damages to people for lying, openly lying. And people still trust this stuff. People still trust the system.
They're scared.
And I think it comes down to the worldview, the idea that we want to believe that these people are here to help us, when the fact is, like, these people profit off sickness and disease.
You get more money off of treatment than cures. That's a fact. And I refuse to ever get another needle from something like that. I will quit my job before I do that again.
Oh yeah, no. I'm surprised my conspiracy-ridden ass got that at all, but here we are.
Well, with pressure, they basically threatened to fire us.
Hey, I got all these kids, man. I can't be losing my job. So
exactly
compromised my whole moral high ground and freaking got that crap. Oh well. Hey, at least I only got the one. I'm not 15 boosters in, bro.
Yeah, no, same.
There's still some people that's like, man, I'm gonna get one every week, and it's like, you're not protected with the first 5. You need number 6 and number 7 in order to be protected. And like, I feel like we live in a fucking episode of the Twilight Zone, dude. Like, this is some shit that didn't make any sense. I cannot believe that people were accepting this. Like, the first 4 not gonna do it. Okay, you need 5, and then you're gonna need number 6 in a couple months. Okay, because what we're giving you is BS. It is crap and
that
causing people to die.
It's making every other one obsolete, so you're gonna have to get this whole new set.
You see, this another Cat Williams line. This new variant is called death. You catch this motherfucker, it's just gonna kill you. And our drugs are the only ones. My God, man. I honestly have felt like we lived in some kind of episode of the Twilight Zone in the past couple of years, dude. And the fact that we're now talking about this again is out of control. Like, the idea that they're going to bring mandates back, despite the Cochrane review, which is the highest level medical study there is, stating that there is no evidence that masks did anything to prevent the spread or slow the spread. People will still clean up. We all read the same thing, and then the people that want to interpret it one way are like, "Oh no, that's not what it said at all." But it is exactly what it said. Mm-hmm. They're like, "Oh, they don't know what they're talking about." It's only the highest peer-reviewed freaking, medical review there is. But they don't know what they're talking about. The Facebook scientists know.
What do they call it? The knowledge checkers or whatever.
Oh, the fact checkers. Yeah, of course.
Fact checkers.
The people that are owned by the pharma companies. Can't imagine who that is. I can't imagine our entire system is owned by the pharmaceutical companies. I can't imagine that they are the highest, the people funding the all the news organizations. The number one ad revenue comes from the pharma companies. The people doing the research studies for the thing are the ones selling you the thing. As if that's not a huge conflict of interest. I don't know, man. Any independent study that's been done has come up with, yeah, this is BS. But
do you think another lockdown's coming? Or do you think that's just rumors?
Dude, if they do, like, I was literally just talking about this somebody today, like, people will lose that. I think that'll be it. That'll be the breaking point. People are gonna. You think that the riots and stuff were bad before? Just wait till you freaking know. It's going to be over, dude. Like, and then see if that happens, the idea, my thought always goes to, yeah, they want to do that so they can institute martial law. If they institute martial law, then that's it.
Total control.
And personally, I've been thinking that that's been on the agenda for quite a while. I mean, they've already used, hell, I was showing videos from the BLM protests and all that stuff. And I did not know that they deployed, they had deployed the National Guard, but they were using directed energy weapons on the people. So some of the directed energy weapons are sound. So they use sound to like shut down entire groups of people. I pulled that up when I was looking this stuff up too. And I mean, they're already doing that, our own military using that crap on the people, but would our own military fire on the public? I don't know. Probably.
Oh yeah, they would. No doubt.
Some people wouldn't, but some people probably would. That's sad to say.
I'd hope a lot of these guys that are in that position would decide that it's not the right thing to do and walk away from it. But you got the other ones who are hardcore that, without hesitation, they would.
Right.
Because they got those non-lethal ways now, like the bean bags and plastic bullets and stuff.
That would suck, dude, to get hit with the beanbag.
It would hurt.
That would suck.
I
don't know. I don't find myself so like the idea that I always had, with the whole the idea behind the riots, the freaking all the plundering and stuff that was going on. That was part of the manipulation too. So what they do is they insert a group of crappy people, have them start throwing bricks, and then all that does is infects everybody around them to do that same crap. It's the mob mentality. So I was actually just watching that Dave Chappelle did a whole skit on it where he talks about, what's the word? There's a certain type of thing where you get everybody to focus on a singular thing. Like, hey, we're going to burn this building down, and you convince that you turn the mob into you turn a group of people into a mob, and they're all thinking the same thing, man, because like of one person, like, let's destroy, this racist organization. And one person convinces all these people to do this. And what does that do? That turns every single person watching all around the world, and it dilutes everything you're protesting for. Because the protest you were doing now becomes a riot. It doesn't, and that's part of the plan. They don't want the world uniting and saying, hey, this is wrong. This person was killed, obviously, and something needs to be done about it. They want to look at all these people rioting, and their issue is BS. Nah, man. That's the keep the people divided. Imagine if we as a people united. There is not a damn thing that could stop us. If 1 million people marched to the Capitol, sat on the steps, and said nobody is going to work, nobody's doing anything until shit gets solved, like, there's nothing anybody can do.
That many people to do it, but nobody wants to be the first person.
Right, but what they would do is they'd institute those couple bad eggs, like the Antifa group. Like, that group right there, 100%. As much as they want to say they're anti-fascist, they are guaranteed fascist. Like, I used to, hang out with a group of guys that would purposely go out and want to fight those dudes. And, that was what we did for fun. But those people are being put out there and doing the shit on purpose. If you see them, they all look exactly the same. Every time you pull up a video of one of them gets arrested, same person every time.
There were all these different sites where these protests would happen. That it'd be conveniently these crates full of bricks sitting there for them to grab and start throwing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that
for them to use.
I'm sure that all these different videos and all these different pictures were probably made up. Just made up. None of that can't be true. You know what I mean? None of it. I'm sure that there was no bricks put out there. I'm sure that there was none of this happening. Like that. It's wild, man. That's the kind of stuff that it's like, oh yeah, this is real. This is the reality. The reality that they want us to believe is a fucking fairy tale. Like, that's the bottom line. That's the thing that I want anybody who's watching to understand, is that, like, absolutely none of this makes any sense. It hasn't made sense for quite a while, and you're not wrong for believing that.
Now, what would be the most devastating weapon they could use that would be the hardest to prove? Would be weaponizing the weather. Like we're kind of seeing now, but how can you prove it? We're getting all these storms, even here, on a daily basis with lightning I've never seen before. You're hearing thunder you never heard before.
Dude, this thunder I heard, like, either the lightning was right at my house, which I checked, it didn't burn. I'm telling you, that was the most, like, it literally, I thought I was going to poop myself. I was playing music, and I thought my neighbor blew up a bomb upstairs to be mad about it, but he's not even home. Other neighbors ran outside, like, asking what the hell just happened. And I'm telling you, like, it was the most wicked thunder I've ever heard, and it, like, shook the entire house. It sounded like a bomb went off. Like, it was nuts.
Was it thunder, or was it a shock wave of some sort?
It was like a shock wave. And then, like, it went off in that direction. That was what it's weird about it. So the thunder, it sounded so really, really loud right here, and then it went boom, 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 like out away from it. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
That sounds more like a shock wave, yeah.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm wondering if it was like a sonic boom from like a
sonic boom.
But they're not allowed to do that. Why would they be doing that?
Exactly.
They can't do that over freaking public houses. So what the hell is going on is what my immediate thought is. I went outside, and the clouds are weird. And it's the other thing that people don't know. Many people learned in school that there was a few different types of clouds. Well, if you go look it up now, there is way more types of clouds than there used to be. They added a bunch. And there's a reason why they did that, is because they have been modifying the weather. So they had to add these different types. These different kind of clouds didn't just start coming up out of nowhere, dude.
Oh, no.
We just didn't all of a sudden learn about new clouds after thousands of years. Like, something is different. If you ever go outside and you see the clouds and they look like they're painted up there,
yeah,
like, those are not natural. Those are.
They look like watercolors. Yeah.
Yeah, literally looks like watercolors, and those are the ones that often come up after they, like, crisscross the sky with their freaking chemtrails.
I got some drone footage I got to put out still. I took the other night. Even though the moon's out, if you look on the horizon, you can see the clouds. It's just lightning just flashing away. I've never seen lightning that severe here.
So there's no doubt to me that they are modifying the weather and blaming climate change. A lot of these, there was climate scientists that I've watched. I don't have the videos, but if I took the time, I could probably come up with it. That have like literally quit their jobs, at weather places, making hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to go out and talk to people about this. And they're saying that the data is being purposely manipulated to paint a picture that's not true. Like we are having effect on the planet, but not in the way that we think, not in the levels that they're talking about. It's to paint a picture. They're trying to institute a level of control. So like the more the climate gets, whatever close to disaster, they're going to be like, oh, more restrictions. You can't do this. We're going to institute these 15-minute smart cities where you can't go 15 minutes more from your dwelling, 15 minutes any direction. So they're going to have your place of work, your stores, all that be within 15 minutes. Like this is a real thing. Like they're trying to do it in Spokane. They're trying to do it in Hawaii. The place that burned down is interestingly one of the ones that turned down the idea of the smart city. You can Google this right now. Anybody that doubts that, like it's all over the place. I think LA, all these places that have these mysteriously crazy events going on right now are, candidates for these smart cities. And while it seems cool, this is going to be a level of control that you are not ready for. So you think about your phones, think about inserting these chips that they're trying to do, which is not conspiracy anymore. It's going to happen. You're going to have a credit score, social credit score, where you're not going to be able to go out and buy stuff if you don't play by the rules. You speed on the road, have road rage. You're going to have little robots saying, hey, no, you can't do this anymore. You can't drive anymore. And what are you going to do? Because you have to have money to go pay your bills. You have to have money to go buy groceries. This is a reality, dude.
The chip. The RF chip. Now, I do agree eventually they're going to make it mandatory. You're going to have to get it. And people compare it to the mark of the beast from the Bible. You think that's accurate?
Oh, yeah. I think that the mark of the beast is probably going to be... It's either describing, capitalism as a whole or the elite government, or it's describing AI. But in reality, I actually watched a couple of videos that talk about, and Jesus mentions it, certain prophets mentioned that the devil is actually the one that rules this world. He is behind the scenes. He is the one that's ruling the world, and we are literally just living on his planet. Jesus actually mentions that in a couple of different verses. Like that is who is really running the world. And if you really think about it,
it makes sense.
There's obviously strings being pulled behind the government. Everybody knows that there's a shadow government. This is not.
If you take it literally, when he says God cast Satan down to earth, he's on earth.
And like, in order to rise above the system, you have to literally defeat Satan, if you will. But there's some crazy stuff that happened. So did you know that that President Biden actually got impeached? He's getting impeached. See, nobody knows that. Imagine that. So if you want an example of just how we are being manipulated, think about if this was the other guy. Everybody in the world would have already known that this impeachment was happening. You can Google it. Go right on Congress.gov.
They're already throwing out the word impeached tons of times with him.
Right. Even that motherfucker can put out a messed up tweet and they're like, who? He needs to be impeached right now. We're getting impeached. And the fact that nobody knows about this is insane. And you know what it's getting impeached for? It's corruption. And money laundering and stuff like that. Like, dude.
Well, they're trying to make his son the scapegoat. Oh, it was all him, not his father.
Yeah. It's obvious. Like the guy, there was a Vivek guy that's running for the Republican nominee, and I actually watched part of his stuff. Like, if I want anybody to win, it's gonna be that dude, because he's like our age, and he is well spoken. He has actual ideas, first of all, and he was talking about, like, we need to investigate why the party, in power is using the like these agencies like the CIA, the FBI, to actually do this dirty work like on a former president. It's obvious what they're trying to do. They want this dude not to run. It's painfully obvious to anybody with a brain. I don't even like the guy, but they are using these agencies in ways that they're not supposed to be used. Why is that being allowed? I don't know, man.
If they don't want you to be in power, you're not going to be in power.
No, yeah, dude. And that makes me, dude, the more they do this, they're creating a martyr out of this dude. And that's my nickname. That's my name for myself. Like, I've honestly thought since I was a kid that I was going to be a martyr for something. And, like, they are literally making a martyr out of this man. I've never seen so much support. He has so much support that he didn't even have to do the debates because, like, the dude's, like, outrageously high in support. That's insane. Like, black, white, Mexican, everybody is freaking supporting this dude. It's only the diehards that are, like, eating up the Kool-Aid still that hate him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what do you foresee as far as the future goes for these weapons that might not be out there yet?
They are out there. But I think that before too long, I mean, if they start releasing or showing us UFO technology, they already possess these weapons on UFO technology. That's probably where they got these weapons from, is from reverse engineering UFO technology. Because, I mean, everybody's heard I'm going to hit you with the particle beam laser from my UFO. Like, everybody's heard about that, dude. Like, the little laser guns.
It's done, yeah.
Dude, that's been a thing since forever. But
yeah, Star Trek.
I think they're trying to tell us the blatant truth, man.
What about nanotechnology?
Dude, that actually exists already too. Like nanobots, nanotechnology. Like,
but how can they weaponize it?
Easily, dude. I mean, that nanotechnology could be in the freaking things that we're putting in our bodies already.
A lot of people say that was the case. That we actually do have stuff in us now. We're just waiting to activate it.
Ever since I got that, dude, like, I have like random pains in that exact spot of my arm. I have like, it could be psychosomatic, but I don't think it is, man. Like, I'm a lot more winded than I used to be, a lot easier. Like, I feel like it's messed up, man. I don't know. And I think that a lot of
you're just getting old, or whatever.
Could be. But, there's all kinds of evidence, even on the CDC website, that it has affected people's hearts. It's caused, what is it, myocarditis or something like that? Like, all kinds of evidence. There's all kinds of people that have dropped dead from this. And again, people still are refusing to accept that. Just like there's doctors that have been like, nope, there's too many people that have died for me to consciously give this to people. And but again, we're only supposed to trust the ones that the pharmaceutical companies say we can trust.
I think the only weapon we have against that nanotechnology would be to set off an EMP over yourself, and hopefully it would shut down everything that's in you.
So when you did think about it, so I was, if you look at the Bible and all the ancient ideas, the ancient warfare, and think about AI being invented in the past. AI takes over. EMP from the sun kills AI. We all start over again and re-inherit the earth. Because the sun itself, again, I believe that the sun is actually an embodiment of God. It is the literal consciousness embodied. And, eventually the sun's going to wipe us all out. But somebody looked and was like, yeah, you should read the Bible from that perspective. Like, we started over from the AI apocalypse way back in the day. And that's what the beast is, AI, essentially.
If you watch that movie I told you about, the moon, was it Moon Rising or something?
Mm-hmm.
That's based on an extraterrestrial AI.
I believe it, dude. So, I mean, if you think about it, think about the mark of the beast. Think about what would be the ultimate way for, the devil to overcome God is to change heaven. Think about it. AI afterlife. People are going to have the option. It is not, is not a made up thing. This is going to happen. You're going to have the option to choose an AI afterlife or to choose to continue like you're doing now. Die, go to a whatever you want to call it. If you think
that's the thing, though. Even if they could upload your consciousness to a computer, would it have your soul with it, or is it just your consciousness?
Who knows?
That's a big question.
It's a good question. I think that consciousness and soul are maybe more similar than we think, but I don't know. That's really hard to say, dude. I would think that maybe it's a copy of the real you, because I think your soul resides in a different dimension. So I think you're projecting your consciousness into this dimension from a higher plane. So I don't know, to be honest. That's just theory.
It would be just the ego existing uploaded, but not you. It's basically you're two beings in one, so it's hard to say how that works. But
so would you be trapped or would you die? I don't know. That's a good question, man. Would there be two versions of you? Hard to say.
First thing, if they put you in a computer, they can literally create your reality and put you in a hellish environment if they wanted to. Whatever, you're at the mercy of whatever they put your programming in.
Only a matter of time, dude. Only a matter of time. VR technology, that's going to happen very, very soon. You're already going to be able to create these games where people are not going to want to leave. Like, you're going to be able to just literally sit in your room, have a headset on, and just chill. Probably have a little feeding tube attached, so you ain't got to do nothing. You just get these little drip feeds.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's that movie with Bruce Willis, Insurgent? Is that what it's called? Where everybody uses these remote bodies, and they don't even go out in public anymore. They literally that's all they do is control their avatars remotely until his gets killed or something, so he has to go out. And he has anxiety because he's not used to being around people anymore. It's a really good, interesting concept.
It is good, man. It's good. The idea of nanotechnology scares the crap out of me. First of all, I didn't even know that was real. Like, I thought it was just made up. Nope, that's definitely real.
Well, it makes you wonder how far had it come? How small had they gotten? Was it like a microscopic or just extremely tiny?
Nanotechnology. Let's look it up right now. It's manipulation of matter near atomic scale to produce new structures, materials, and devices. The technology promises scientific advancement. Dude, so like what is that movie? The newest Avatar movie. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah.
So they have those nano robots essentially that are able to build buildings in like a fraction of the time it would take us to build them normally. Remember that part where they're building the whole new city?
I didn't know they were nanos. I thought it was regular sized machines.
They are like, I think the regular sized machines, but it's like that's supposed to be like nanobots, like combined into one or something like that. Maybe I'm thinking of something different, but
could be.
This technology. Let's see. Nanotech. That's like essentially, so like when we're creating nanotechnology, like we're creating basically new life forms, dude.
Well, imagine if they could take nanotechnology and incorporate AI into them, then they would be a life form.
I don't know what made me think of this, but like because that made me think of the atomic scale. I was watching this. I don't remember what it was. I think Our Universe or whatever. It's another one with David Attenborough. But it was talking about how the sun, like actually, it combines atoms inside the sun. Like it's so hot that it actually combines atoms, and it talks about how that creates like forms of light. And I was thinking, it made me think of like how we all of a sudden learn to split atoms and create these massive explosions, and that's why like people say that's when the ETs started really coming to visit, is so we didn't destroy us, because our understanding of this technology, because if the sun is combining atoms, thus creating existence, that means it could literally tear the universe itself apart by destroying the atoms in theory. And I think that's what a lot of these people are talking about. It makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, we could probably use this energy to create all kinds of things, probably create life, with all this stuff, but we use it to destroy each other. Like,
so the sun's doing the opposite of what we do. That we split the atom, it combines the atom.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a fusion.
And somebody was asking me the other day, it's like, why do I think that the sun is God? Like, why do you think that the ancient peoples worship the sun? I think that the sun is quite literally the embodiment of creation. Like, if you really read the Bible from that perspective, it has the power to create life. Like, it's creating photons of light, at all times. And that's all everything is here is light. That's it. All of us are just light. Beings of light.
I've always had kind of a theory that planetary objects like the sun, for example, what we're seeing is the third dimensional interpretation of a being that on the fifth dimensional, let's say the sun exists in multiple dimensions at the same time. We're viewing it on the third dimensional plane. But if you viewed the same sun on the fifth dimensional plane, maybe it would appear more humanoid or something, or look completely different.
I think that we would God damn it. It's not the right account. I can't log into the chat. That's what the problem is. Is there people commenting in chat?
I haven't seen any comments. No.
Oh, good. Good, because I can't see.
It's been quiet tonight, actually.
That's okay. We're really burning through this, man. This has been good. Been good. Solid back and forths here, sir.
Oh, yes.
Solid back and forths. I'm loving it. Man.
Well, I think what we're seeing more now of is more the weather stuff. Mm-hmm. Let us say right now they're keeping it somewhat mild in comparison to what they could do. How far could they take weather manipulation? How much damage? How big could they make these storms get?
Did you have that video that I shared with you? It was on the news where that guy talked about, this was like 9 years ago. It aired on CBS News or something like that, where the guy was talking about how they could shoot laser beams into clouds in a lab and create, I forgot what he was talking about exactly, but it's create like storms. And so I think that they could take it absolutely as far as they could, as far as creating massive superstorms that wipe out certain areas of the United States, like maybe Hurricane Katrina.
But could they create a global storm?
I don't know. I think that we could easily probably create a storm that would wipe us out, or create a chain reaction that created a perfect storm that would wipe us out. I mean, without a doubt, dude, I think that messing with this weather, you mess with the world, it's going to mess back.
Well, it's like I was saying, they're being gradual. That's why every year we see just a little bit more intense or breaking records instead of something huge happening. That way it doesn't come such a shock or surprise to us. Let's say next year it gets a little bit hotter and a little bit stronger storms, but and then 10 years from now, who says how bad it'll be?
Right. I think we just had ended up being a tropical storm that hit California or whatever, but that was really weird. Like all these different crazy superstorms, Tornado Alley moving. All of a sudden we got, tornadoes ripping through cities that were never supposed to be hit by tornadoes before. And all this stuff, what does it do? Makes people look to the government for answers. Like, hey, what are we doing? And then it makes people angry about climate change. What are we going to do? So let's surrender all our security and whatever we got to fix this. Go to electric cars. So we all have to buy electric cars. What that means is that every consumer has to go out and buy an electric car.
But what if you can't afford one?
Right. But what's going to happen? What did they do during the last couple of years? What did they do? They used other people against you. They're going to be shamed for driving an electric car. A gas car. You're going to be, you're killing the planet by driving that car. And that's what they're going to do. Just like they did during that crap. Like, you're killing us all by not getting that.
Or they make it illegal to drive one, so you literally can't. So basically, you're stranded.
Bingo. Or they get rid of the idea of driving altogether and force people onto mass transit.
Like my small city here, we don't have that.
Yeah. It'll be something that, starts in the big cities and then...
Well, Seattle's already pretty green. Most of their transit's electric.
It is. Again, this is going to be something that's going to start in the big cities first. They're going to be used as guinea pigs. It's going to be the whole 15-minute city. And people are going to willingly accept that because you already can do anything in Seattle. You don't have to leave your house, dude. You can order food online. You can order groceries online. You don't have to leave your house. And that is the plan, dude. They want people to be so helplessly stuck on this. Mm-hmm. And, the information that they give you that you don't have to need anything else. You don't have to be a person.
Like we're doing remote jobs.
Right.
You'd never leave the house. You wouldn't have to anyway.
You will not. You will not have to.
This current hurricane, my sister sent me a TikTok. Like they're now expected to evacuate, but conveniently the gasoline or something out of the gas stations got messed up. They put diesel in the regular gas, so now people can't evacuate because they can't get gas. So they're literally trapped.
That's not set up at all.
Right?
Just like in the places in Hawaii when people were talking about how their water didn't work when they were trying to fight the fires in their own houses. they're trying to turn on the water to fight it. It's the same thing is happening all over the place, dude. Like, you think it's a coincidence. Maybe you can write things off as a coincidence when they happen 1 or 2 times, but you're getting it all over the place. It's not a coincidence, man.
I don't believe in coincidence in a way, but
yeah, people want to call us conspiracy theorists, but I might call you a coincidence theorist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they're making it now where you can't even evacuate because you don't have the gas. You're going to die in a hurricane.
No. That's like, dude, have you ever heard the stuff about like Hurricane Katrina? You know that people heard bombs going off on the levees. They purposely blew those levees.
Oh, yeah.
100%, man. They wanted to flood those areas and get rid of all the poor people that live there. And that's guarantee you that's what's going to happen in Hawaii. All the rich folks are going to come in. They're going to develop that land. It's going to be all hotels, or all the rich people are going to buy up all the land, whatever.
Speaking of that, I saw a TikTok. I might have it somewhere still. That a lot of the celebrities and higher ups, like in Hawaii, for example, all have the same color roofs, the special color blue.
The blue.
And they're the only ones untouched by these fires. And it showed a comparison. They took a bunch of different color sheets, ran a laser over it. When it went over to blue, it didn't touch it, but everything else caught on fire. It's
really intriguing. I mean, I've definitely heard that about that technology before. So, I mean, I haven't actually looked to see the roofs were that color, but dude, that'd be a smoking gun right there.
There's videos. There's pictures of cars in the background that are blue that are untouched. Everything else is burnt.
Dude, that's true. Like, it functioned really weird. Like the whole fire, it doesn't seem right. And again, we got like the same story came out from the Paradise, California fires, where people are talking about the fire melting cars as they were running. That is not possible. They do not melt cars like that. Come on, dude. Like, we're dealing with them using freaking
lasers,
basically lasers on us, directed energy weapons, without a doubt.
So are these like test runs that they're using these lasers on, or is it intentional, or is it an experiment just to see what they can do?
Could be. That could be the case. I don't know. I don't know the real reason. I mean, I mentioned the thing about David Woodcock talking about how like they intentionally torched that city because there was said to be ETs that lived there that were going to go public with their hey, yeah, we exist, we live here. But who knows?
Remember Pompeii, where you can still find the people, on the ground in huddle positions, flash frozen, but has that ever happened anywhere else, or is that just Pompeii? So
the Pompeii, that's what that is called is it's a pyroclastic flow, I believe, where the smoke, who knows, man? That's a good point. I never really thought about that.
I've never heard any other stories that happened anywhere else but Pompeii.
No, dude, things were going on. I'm guaranteeing.
Even back then, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did they blame the volcano? It was actually
there's evidence. If you look at all through those Sumerian texts that talk about the evidence of weather manipulation technology. If you look at the Bible, the evidence of weather manipulation technology is all through that. The events
when he parted the seas. I mean,
nuclear weapons.
They call it magic or whatever it's technology.
Don't even get me started on that, dude. That's there's obviously evidence all throughout history. In the Bhagavad Gita, shooting a bolt, of lightning charged with the force of 1,000 suns. Obviously, nuclear weapons. You know what I mean?
But where's the line between magic, miracles, and technology?
I think technology has the ability to harness forces of nature that we don't understand. I think that obviously magic does exist, but it's a lost thing. As technology has progressed, we have not needed magical abilities.
So can technology basically copy magic to an extent?
I think that technology and magic go hand in hand, because if I were to go back 20 years or 100 years ago and back with my cell phone, people are going to think that that's magic, right? I have a magic box. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think that people's ancient times possessed advanced technology that can manipulate the forces of nature that could,
Yeah.
That's about it, sir. We've all reached our hour. Man, that flew by.
It sure did. Wow. Well, hopefully next week we'll have a special guest. I think Randall might try and come back on next week.
Let's go, dude. Let's do the C5 contact, bro. Just sit and try to meditate. Actually, I don't know if I can meditate on live, but I can try it.
That'd be awkward. People staring at me, said, "Meditate." Like,
I can try it. All righty, man. I'll jump off here and go deal with the kids.
All right, another great show. We'll catch you later, man.
Have a good day, my friends.
You too. All right, so we're going to wrap up tonight's show. Good talking on, warfare, biological, technological, whatever. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll catch you guys next week. And once we know what our subject will be, I'll put a link out with the description. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys then. You have a great night.